What Alvin message for?
Tuesday?
Like Tuesday，让我送他回家。
你上课没？
Like Tuesday，我不送他回家，我不送 Alvin 回家。
哦，
Oh, alright. Okay, so very good morning to Sensei and everyone. So today my group will be presenting our ADM assignment. So the system we'll be doing is a library system. So we'll be doing the circulations of the books, reservation of the books, and library management systems. So here I have ready the SQL class, the console. So I run why autocross? Eh? Hold on. Oh, right. Okay, so I will log in first. And I will connect with a user. Okay, so I run the database first. Quick sensei.
Yes.
Okay. So it's creating, you have to wait a while. So we also have some extra efforts. So let's say like functions, sequence, all that. So we run that also. So let me run this first. So now we will begin the queries. So I will present first for my part. So I will present the queries first. Okay. So my first query will be a strategic query. So this one, it will display. So this one, it will display all the find collected along with the details of it. And there's the total amount of finds at the bottom. So we go through one by one. So at the top here, you can see there's a title, and then there's a page. Unfortunately, this monitor is quite small, so we cannot fit everything into like one line. So the page is next line. That's a minor downside. But you can see like there's a find type, find ID, all the details here. And then for each of the type, there is a total find collected at the bottom here. And then it will be the same as overdue. Everything's the same. Overdue at the end, there's a total fine collected, and everything's the same. So it will display the total amount of fines collected for each type as well as for each fine details. So this is the strategy report. Next one is a technical report. So this one, the middle management can use to find out how many inactive members that are have the last procession of 6 months or more. So for example, you can see we have this date, we also have today's date, and it will generate all the members that has their last procession of 6 months and more. So we can see like every record is quite old. It's really old. So we can see at the end there's October. So meaning to say currently is April. So we have about 6 months since this region has borrowed. So we display the details as well. Okay. For the third query is operational. Operational, this will display all the current available books. So we can see all the details right here. Okay, and then there will be also divided into class. So you can see 800 and 900 is divided along with a total amount of books, just like the strategic report, the finding report. So basically, this one it allows the members or the staff to check how many books are available in the circulation, or borrow or reservation. Okay, so that's the three queries for me. Right now, I will do the stock procedure. Okay, let me run my two procedure first. Your columns. Okay, so my first procedure is a create circulation procedure. So this procedure will facilitate the circulation creation lah. So meaning to say, members do not need to enter manually, but they can use this procedure to help them to create or insert circulation records. So I have a few functions to validate the inputs of the user. So let's say I have an invalid member ID, meaning to say this member does not exist within the database. So if I click this, then it will display member ID is invalid or not found. So this one is one of my functions. And then there's another one for book ID for the second parameter. So this one, it will also validate if the book ID is valid or existing in the database. So we have these two validations. So if both of the parameters are correct and valid, then it will display a successful message with circulation created successfully. Okay, we also might check this. Let's check this. We can see that the newest circulation is created with a blank return date. So this procedure helps users to eventually have another function called due date generator. So it will get the current date and insert it along with the details provided by the user. So you can see the due date is here. So since we borrowed 22 April, so it will be 2 weeks. So 6th of May will be the due date. That's for procedure 1. So now let's go to procedure 2. Procedure 2, we can check the book availability. So let's say we have also a invalid book ID, not found, and book that is not available. So meaning to say this book is from the procedure 1 that we have created. So meaning to say someone has borrowed this book. It will display a message whereby it will state that it's not available, and it will also display the expect return date, which is the same as the due date of the previous circulation that we created. And let's insert an available book to see the successful message. So if the user entered an available book, then we can see that the successful message, it says that this book is available to be borrowed or reserved. So this procedure is basically to check the book availability. Right. So that's my stock procedures. So for my triggers, allow me to insert first. Okay. Okay. Right. So for my trigger, my first trigger is the trigger we check for the book availability, just like the stock procedure, but this time is a trigger instead. When the user has entered or insert a circulation, the trigger will check if the book is occupied or is available. So let's test it out. I have a test case right here. So this test case, it involves with the book that we have created a circulation with it. So this is the same book. So it will show the book is not available for borrow, and the expected date return is 6th of May. So it's similar to our procedure just now, but this time it's in a trigger format. So this one is to validate that the book cannot be borrowed twice to prevent data anomaly. All right. So my second trigger is it will check the member's max loan. So for each type of member, we have a student member and a lecturer slash staff role. So students can only loan 5 books, while the lecturers or staff can again up to 20 books. So let's test it out with our previous circulation record that we created. So the member is student, so they can only borrow 5 books lah. So just now we have created one. So let's test it out at creating 4 more books, circulations, sorry. So here we can see that there's 4 more and plus another one that we have created earlier. So there will be 5. So if the student has another circulation created, and it will say that the loan has reached its limits of the member type. Since the member is a student, then they only can loan for 5 books at a time. So we can check that. So you can see that there are 5 circulation numbers for the same member, and the 6th circulation insertion is not created since it violates my second trigger. So yeah, that's my trigger. Go back. Okay, so for my report, I have 3 reports. So let's look at the sum. Let me insert all this first. Okay. Okay. So let's run the summary report first. So this one, it will display. Sorry. Um, right. So this report, it will display all the fines collected within a date range. So we also have a function to check that if the date range is valid. So let's have an invalid date range. So it will display a message where it has errors with the date range. So if the user entered valid details, then it will properly display the report. So we can see that it shows a summary of the fines collected for each type, and as well as a total number and amount of fines collected. So this is just a summary report. For the detailed report, for my second report, this one it will display all the books details, including its circulation history. So let me clear my screen. So let's say I run this. This is an invalid book, so it will not display anything. But if the book is valid, then it will display all the details properly. So you can see all the book details, the title, author, etc., as well as the circulation history for the book. So you can see all the history listing. Okay, this is for my detailed report. So for my last report of on-demand report, so I have a most popular book report. So this one, it can take how many ranks that the user want, and essentially sort it by the most by popularity. So we have an invalid rank count. So this one we cannot produce it because the rank counter is invalid. We cannot produce -15. But if we have valid details, so it will display the top 15 most popular books in the date range that we have entered right here. So you can see that there's 15 rankings, and it sorts based on the number of borrowers within that particular month. Okay, so that is all from me. I pass to Solomon for his part. Let me insert. All right. Okay. So strategic.
First is the strategic query. This strategic query will be displaying the member type and the relationship between the library member type and the overdue rate of that member type. So this can help the combination of the library to understand that how the member type policy can affect the frequency and rate of which the member overdue return the inbox.
Okay.
So my second query is the technical query. It's a publisher with the highest demand of books. this query, it can help the management of the library for resource planning, so they know which publisher is the most popular within the overall of the library, so that they can focus more on their resources on those publisher to buy their books.
Operational.
Okay, so for my third query, which is the operational query, this operational query will display the current member with the overdue circulation reports. So this will help the librarian to know, like, today the list of member that hasn't paid their fine yet, so they may contact them. So as you can see in this query, we have displayed the contact information of that member, so that for the librarian is able to contact them to inform them that they haven't paid their fine yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Insert. Create fine. Okay. And another one.
Yeah, great, fine.
Yeah. Yes.
So for my first procedure is the Ds5 procedure.
Okay, this is sample.
So in our system, we have four types of fine, which is the overdue, damage, unrepairable, and loss. And also the yeah status of that circulation record, and then automatically generate the fine. But if the user want to manually enter the details of the fine, the user may also do so. But if the user just enter the circulation number, and this procedure will automatically check the circulation detail and automatically determine what type of fine should be generated, and it will also automatically calculate the
Green. Okay, so I will insert what Solomon has said. So these are the four types of fine.
on the top. So as you can see here, first is the overdue fine. As you can see, we just need to enter the circulation number, and the procedure will look at the circulation detail and then automatically determine that the fine type and also the fine amount. Yeah. The second one is also damage. So for the damage type of fine, the amount of that fine is half the cost of the book. And as you can see here, is also been automatically calculated by the store procedure. And the next fine is the refund. And the refund is also same as the lost type of fine. So if for refund and lost type of fine, the amount of the fine is double the cost of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you can see here, it's also automatically everything generated by this procedure. If you look at the details and determine what type of fine and also the amount of fine.
Invalid. Invalid.
Yeah.
Move on. Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, the procedure also have the validation. So when the circulation record that has been entered is actually a valid one, also the valid and also the okay one, like no overdue at all. Then if you also know lah, the record is actually okay and it's not eligible for fine, and it will display the error message as shown here lah. Okay.
Okay. So we can check the result. So let's check on fine first.
As you can see, this is all the fine generated just now by the procedure.
Okay, circulation.
Okay.
Clear formatting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Go on.
Wait ah. Sensor lagging. Okay.
Okay, we can start from just now. Tab, sorry, window. Okay, So we can check the results from it just now. Check the result. Hmm. Try this again. Okay, check the result. Just
Yeah, so
now,
this is the result of the fine that created just now.
and circulation,
And these are the circulation record of which the fines are generated from.
return damage for that.
Yeah.
Okay, reset.
For my second procedure is update the circulation record.
Okay,
So whenever a user borrow a book, a circulation record will be generated. However, the return date of that circulation record is empty. And for my this procedure, I will be mainly for handling the return of the book, which is also means update the circulation record lah. Okay. So okay, as you can see here, the first input, which is the valid circulation number, for my procedure, it also has built-in validation. So whenever incorrect information is entered, it will display the error message accordingly.
okay. So this is the correct one.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the correct circulation record. As you can see, there's no error message.
Okay, so we can check. Select.
Error message may be
Oh, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So the message is not displayed.
Yeah.
Screen
Okay.
page. Okay.
Just now the error message are not displayed properly. Now you can see all the error message are displayed.
So let's check the circulation that we have updated.
So
So
as you can see now, this the circulation has been updated and its return date has also been yeah, updated also.
let's check the fine.
Yeah, right. So when the circulation report is violated the library rules such as overdue, then this update circulation report procedure we also automatically call the create fine procedure to automatically generate the fine based on the type of the policy, library policy that this student has violated.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Trigger.
Yeah, trigger.
Okay. So now we go to trigger.
Yeah, now you'll be getting my trigger.
Okay. You mean insert triggers first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam.
Symbol.
So my my first trigger will be the sync book condition.
Hold on.
So for the book condition, there are three conditions which are good, which means the book has no problem, and then old, which means the book are old already, over 50 times has been borrowed, and also damaged and missing.
Okay.
So what this sync book condition trigger do is that whenever there's a update of the circulation report, so for example, the book return is damaged or the book return is lost, then the book condition, the book status in that book table itself, we also get updated accordingly now.
Okay. So this case. From here.
The circulation record. That's all. As you can see, the first record there, the first circulation record updated the 90001. The status of that circulation is missing, which means the student never returned the book. The book is lost already. Okay.
Okay. Damage.
Then yeah, this is the damage. So when the book is damaged, like beyond repairable, like cannot repair already lah. Then the status will be set to repairable. Okay, if no policy is violated, then the return circulation status will be return only lah, no problem at all.
So let's check.
Yeah, so let's check the book now.
So 165. This is a good. This is the good.
Yeah, so this is good, which means the return okay. Yeah.
So this one is damage.
Yeah, this one is damaged. Yeah, as you can see, the circulation return just now, the book has been damaged.
And this one is the loss.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's trigger. Let me reset. Okay, trigger 2.
So for my trigger 2 is the generate book reservation available then. So whenever a student or library member make a book reservation, the available debt column in that reservation table will be empty first since the book hasn't been returned yet. So whenever a book has been returned, in my case it's the update circulation report, then any reservation associated with that book is available that you get updated by this trigger. So whenever there's an update in the circulation report table, then the trigger will get triggered and then update any reservation report accordingly.
Okay, so dated.
Like that. So this example here, as you can see, the circulation report has been updated, means the book is already been returned. Then,
Unrepairable.
oh yeah, so when the return book is
这个是 nothing nothing 没看有呀，
这是
so can just go. 你的 nothing.
oh yeah, so when the return book is missing, means it cannot be borrowed anymore. Then the reservation report of that book, the available debt will be left empty lah, since although it's been reserved, but then the student who reserved it cannot get the book anymore since it's already missing. Yeah. So in here it will display nothing lah. Yeah.
Okay, so we can check. Hold on. Okay.
You can see if the book is damaged, it cannot be reserved. It cannot be borrowed anymore. So even though the student already reserved it, but they cannot get the book since the book has already been damaged by the previous borrower. Yes. As you can see, that the available debt here is empty. Yeah.
Okay, so let me reset. Okay. Okay, report.
Now I go to my report.
Yeah, give me some time.
Yeah.
Okay, create screen. Report. Okay, summary.
So my first report is the library annual circulation performance statistic report. So what this summary report shows is that the performance of that library, like for this year, how many members borrow book and how many times they borrow. And then if you compare to the previous year, and then display the difference based on percentage. So this will show the top management like how well the library is performing from year to year lah. So as you can see, the first year is 2019. They have like 919 total number of circulation. By 2020, the total circulation is lower, like 632 only. So and as you can see there, the performance there, the percentage, yes, a drop of 31%. Okay, yeah. So if you display in percentage lah, so it's easier for the top management to understand how well the library is performing from year to year compared to last year. Yeah.
Okay, next. Screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Summary. Sorry. Detail. Okay. Detail.
Okay. So for my second report, the detail report is the monthly fine report details report. So what this report will do is that it will display all the report detail that has been collected in that particular month.
Okay.
So this report can help with the auditing process.
Okay.
Yeah.
If no result.
Yeah. Okay. Then if in that particular month there has been no any fine record, then it will display no fine record is found.
Okay. On demand.
Yeah. So my last report will be the on demand report.
Demand. On demand. Okay.
Yeah. So for my on demand report is the most active student for a given period. And that period is selected on demand based on the college or library management based on how they want it. Okay. So for this example, the given period is entire year of 2021. Okay. So these are the top 10 students that are most active and borrow the most book in the entire year of 2021.
Semester.
Yeah, and other than that, they can also the given period can also based on semester basis instead of the whole year. So this is the top 5 most active member in that particular semester.
January.
And the last example is the by monthly basis lah. So this is the top 3 most active member in January 2021.
Invalid.
Okay. And if the input is invalid, and of course this report will also validate the input lah, and display the error message accordingly lah, based on the type of incorrect input. Okay. That's all from me.
Okay. Pastor Russell. Then. Okay. One more. Okay.
Okay, so now these are my parts.
Magic.
We'll start with the query views. So we'll start with the strategic view first. Okay, so my strategic view is to view the most popular classifications borrowed as of today's date. So, for example, this one is borrowed as of 22nd April, which is today. As you can see, literature has the category literature has the most amount of borrows at 1,755 books, and you can see the top 10 most books there.
Okay.
So my next query is the technical one, the technical report, technical query. And this is to view the list of missing books and the last known borrowers. So you can see the books that are missing and the information, such as the email of the last known borrowers, so you can contact them to find out about whereabouts or such.
Okay.
Okay, my third query is the operational one.
Gina? Sorry. Okay.
Okay, so
这是你 create 到的，你记。
Okay, so at the bottom there you can see my query is to see the current outstanding fines as of today. This is to see which fines are not paid yet. Meaning you check for the fine records that do not have a paid date. So these are all the records of fines that haven't been paid. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so next we look at my export procedures.
Okay, let me format properly first. Okay, let me insert by one.
Okay, so my first procedure is to
Okay.
create a reservation.
Reservation?
Okay, my first procedure is to create a book reservation.
Not yet. 你可以讲第一次先。 There's another trigger with this, so let's run the trigger.
Run the trigger first,
trigger duplicate.
Okay, so my first procedure is to create a book reservation. Okay, So there are some validation checks. So first one, we can validate for the member ID, and we can also validate for the book ID. So if it's invalid or maybe it's not found, then you show an error message. Okay, so now we give a valid one, a valid record with valid book ID and valid member ID. And as you can see, reservation for the book is created. Okay, show for the select first.
First, okay.
Okay, so as you can see, the new record is created. Okay, and from I have a trigger that prevents duplicate records from being created. So if you already placed a reservation, if a certain member already placed a reservation on a book that has not been fulfilled yet, then it will prevent a duplicate record from being created. So we can execute the same record again. As you can see, the reservation already exists. There's an error message.
You can check again. It only has one.
Yeah, so there's only one. So there's only one record created.
Okay.
So my next procedure. Yeah,
That's really simple.
you're doing it.
Yeah, wait. Okay.
So my next trigger is to pay a fine, and yeah, this one also has validation check. So check for a valid fine ID. So this is a invalid fine ID,
It's fine.
and then there's another check whether it checks whether the fine has already been paid. So if I press this one, if it's error, the fine has already been paid on the 2nd of July, 2020. So now, Solomon just now, he has created a fine record, and that record has not been paid yet. So we'll be paying that fine.
Okay. So we can check the fine first.
We can check the fine. Is it the latest record? It's an unpaid fine. So now,
let me set the fine date to current date. So we can click. This one is 17. Okay, 17, put to ID. Okay, so update. Then we can execute it.
okay, so now we will pay the recently created fine. So we press enter. And as you can see, the fine has been paid.
And we can select this again.
Okay.
Execution number.
Oh, okay. Anyway, press enter, and we can see that the fine. We can see that the fine has been paid because it's the payment date. Okay.
Okay.
Moving on, I have a third procedure, which is search a book by its title. So the search query works by checking the first letters followed by a wildcard. So this will hopefully utilize the search index creator. For example, this is the results for the.
Yeah. Okay.
We can show shorter one. So say we search PE only. So we search PE. You see, the results are titles that start with PE. This works regardless of capitalization because the search query and the title to compare to are converted to uppercase.
Okay. Trigger.
Okay, so next I'll talk about my second trigger. The first trigger was to check for duplicate reservation.
Okay.
My
Insert.
second trigger is to notify the reserver. Okay, so the trigger that notifies the reserver means that if there's a circulation record, if it's a reservation record on a book that has not been fulfilled yet, and then the book was recently returned by a different borrower, they will notify the system user to contact the person that the book has become available. So, for example,
Okay. Good. We create a situation. Create.
Okay, so for example, we place two users place a reservation on book 1543. As you can see, the reservation is successfully created. The system will notify the first user that has placed the reservation, not the second one.
So we create a situation.
So we will create a circulation record for another user. Say another member has borrowed the book. Okay.
Okay. Then return.
Okay. And now we set that book to be written, meaning that another person has written that book.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay. So this is the book is written. So now the book just got returned by another user. So it will notify the first user that we created in the reservation system. So 19 ASK or Rosina Wilkinson was the first user to place a reservation on the book first. Okay, so the system will tell the system user to notify this person. You can contact through email or such. It will also show the reservation records. So this works only for when the book is returned. So say if the record has been updated to missing, like the book got reached up missing, then nothing happens. It will not notify the user.
Okay. Go back.
Okay, so now talk about my third trigger. This trigger updates the book's conditions. So if a certain book has entered circulation over 50 times, then if it's new, it'll become old. The threshold where it becomes old can be set. So for our presentation today, we'll be setting it to 8. Okay.
8.
Because
Yeah.
we set the trigger number to 8. Then
We can show the
okay, we'll take a specific book. For example, 105. As you can see, this book has been borrowed 7 times and it's in good condition. So if we create a circulation record, which means someone borrowed it or such, then the image has been borrowed 8 times.
So we can display it again.
So if we display the details again.
Hold on.
Okay. As you see, the book has been borrowed 8 times, and now the condition is old. Okay. Okay, so now we talk about my reports.
Allow me to insert the reports first. Summary. Hmm? One.
Okay, so first I'll talk about my summary report. My summary report is to see the popularity percentage of the borrow books based on their classifications. And this is from currently the 2,102 books in circulation, meaning there are 2,102 circulation records right now. As you can see, the popularity by its percentage. So 83.49% of the borrowed books out of the 2,000 books are literature. So the most popular is literature books. And you can see the popularity percentage for this. And this is ordered by how popular they are. Okay, so I'll talk about, next is my retail report. Detail report. Okay. And this report has validation check. So my detail report is to see.
Again.
Okay. My detail report is to see Oh, my detail report shows the student details along with the circulation records that belong to that student, that member. So as you can see, it checks for the member ID, the first line. So if it does, it will show an error message if it doesn't exist or is invalid or it's not a student. This one only checks for students. And you also check for the circulation. You also validate you also check if the member is the member is borrowable, meaning if it's not in the circulation records, it will show an error. Okay, so now we can generate a report with a valid member ID. You can see this is about the student is Curtis about, and he has 3 circulation records tied to him. So he has borrowed 3 books.
Okay, last one.
Okay, my last report is the on-demand report, and this report shows the most popular book by a class. So as you can see, it'll validate the class. That, for example, class 4 it doesn't exist. It will show an error message. And if you show a valid class, for example, 600, then it will show the most the popular book in that class based on how many times it has been borrowed. So, for example, for classification 600, the most borrowed book is Dogs Never Lie About Love, and it's been borrowed 5 times in total. And
Books type.
hmm,
Books type.
okay, another and if the most popular books, there are several with the same amount of borrow counts, then you show all the records with the same amount, and you indicate it with a tied symbol. So you can see for classification 200, there are two books that are most popular because they're most popular and they're tied because both of them have been borrowed 4 times. So one is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, and the other is one's by James Bond. And you can see at the bottom it says two books are tied for most popular in classification 200. So that concludes my presentation.
Yeah.
Our presentation.
Yeah, that is all. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. That's all. Quite long. Mana? Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, group number 5. Okay. Okay. Is there any question from the other students? Any question from them? Any question? No question? Okay. All right. Good. Okay. But here I would like to ask something. Okay. Mm, your topic, in the library, right? Yes. The library system. Okay. So, let's say, okay, so you have your procedure, you have fine, you have fine, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So let's say the fine means what is it going to be the fine? What is the project? Fine for the net. Okay. Let's say how are you going to define the book is lost? Yeah, I know that one. But how are you going to define that the book is lost? No, I mean, yeah, I know. Okay. I mean, say, let's say I mean, say the one that put it insert the fine or loss. Okay, how are you going to take damage? Okay, let's say you have overdue. Okay. So when it overdue, when it's overdue, okay, say you are going to open the book after the overdue. So the due date, right? Okay, then when they return the book, then you know that it's overdue. Okay. And if damage, how are you going to define damage? When the return the book, and then you can see the book is damage loss. Yes. Okay. And if it's lost, how are you going to define it? Okay. Is it difficult with overdue? Yeah. when maybe when the student doesn't return the book, means it's already overdue, but if it's already overdue, they will put it over there in the student overdue. Yes. Yes. So what if the student doesn't return the book? It will still be overdue until a certain period of time. The student library. So if the student doesn't, say, return the book, it will notice. Yeah. If the student doesn't take immediately, is there any period of time to indicate that the book is lost? For the library. I want to just think like, let's say overdue, okay, overdue penalty fine 1 month, and after 1 month, it will be considered lost. Is it, we will not know when the student are going to return the book. It is because all the system is based on the hard disk is active. So the rules, everything is based on that. But it is it's a trigger that, but since we have our own triggers for the magic. But yeah, we can all those doesn't matter lah time sheet whatever. Yeah. Collect, okay. But if you then that's what I'm thinking. If I don't return the book, it means remain overdue. So if you have if you let's say you include the overdue limit, something good lah. Okay. Extra lah. And then I think everything is fine. Only those things are maybe think if I'm a student, I'm not returning the book, and it will stay with overdue. But is the overdue penalty increasing day by day? Yes, it is per day. So if it lost, because the country will be the double because of the book. If it's damaged, only half the cost. But type of damage is type of damage. So let's say the book with half of the book is lost. Then it will be so we have a iPad hold it back. So that we can so it's the same thing like lost book fines. Yeah, so this is okay. Okay. And the other one, I think also is it yes, the duplicate reservation section, the trigger. Duplicate reservation right? It's a reservation and it's not until this after 40%. Only 1% after the reservation. 40% for each one. Person can only have one reservation on the for one book. On the book at a standard construction. They can do certain amount of things. So if you come yourself, you could get the half percent. I mean, say let's say I want to reserve the book. Okay? And then I want to reserve the book. There will be another person try to reserve the same thing tomorrow. So the first one reserved will be getting the book. You get a person that is reservable to be notified from another student. The other mentions that the same person does not have the reservation pass. Okay, same person not able to do the reservation for the same book. For the same book. Let's say it's the same book but two different persons. Then the person can do it. That's another trigger. I think it's one or it's not. Or another trigger will. Oh, they got to find the person. Yeah. can then update the book condition you said after 8 times overall in the condition will be old. Yeah. What does it mean? What does it mean? You mean it's the quality of the book?
It's not like that or something. Basically, we have this thinking
Yeah.
so if it's actually this situation, then most likely the book will be not that
Old,
but old.
Yeah.
So we are trying to
So let's say even though the book is in the library around that 2008 and nobody borrowed the book for 6 years, 7 years, the condition still new or old? It doesn't matter like this one is not like how you think about it. Yeah. But normally everything gets yeah, eventually lah. Okay. Alright, I think that's all. Okay, thank you, group number 5. Okay, you good job. Okay, so, alright, thank you, group 5. Okay, group 4, you guys ready? Okay. Ready, yeah? Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Good morning to Sensei and everyone. Today we will present our for our group presentation for advanced database management. So for our breakdown of our system is used by Love Animal Pet Store, and the system they use is the inventory management system. Love Animal Inventory Management System is a system that manage and store customer data, staff data, pet data, order data, and pet product data. And this is our ERD, which consists of pet category, supplier, pet product category, pet product, pets, orders, customers, pet care, staff, order details, and payments. And now we will proceed to each member query, trigger, and report. So I will present for my part. So for the first query would be display pet product from the least and the most expensive price. Has been showcased. It will showcase that. It will showcase that this is from the most and the least price of pet product itself from the query. And the second will be display the most stock of pets in the shop. So it would be Malincon, and the stock will be 50, and the pet category name is cats. Before that, so the third is the pet registration date on March. So this is the query itself. It will display all the March from the database itself from March. But we are taking a to date from 28 February is after February of 28 February of 2022. Now we proceed to procedure. So the first procedure is add product. Has already been created for pet product itself. So we will insert value. It will be stated as execute a product, and it stated the procedure successfully added inside the pet product table. So we will showcase it. It's stated. Oh, something. It's been stated that the data has been added for the new data, which is the maggot pack. Now we proceed the second procedure, which is add pet. Add pet procedure has been created. Now we will proceed to execute. As stated, it has violated, but fortunately, I already edited the data a long time ago. So we will spread the fact itself. So this is the just now I entered wrongly because of the pet ID, as been stated that the ID itself must be different, as if the just now was a P0041, as I entered was P0041 also for the new data, but it also violated because mainly I entered the same data. Now I will enter the different data for it by changing the ID itself. So it has been stated that the add pet product, add pet record has been successfully edited. So we will select again. it has been stated that the data has been edited in the database and the table itself. But beforehand that, I need to make some changes for the layout itself. Mainly it's really difficult for us to see and to read and write towards in the data itself. I'm sorry for the inconveniency for our presentation. And now we will continue our presentation. So we will display the pad record. So we will display that pad record has been edited in the record itself as we stated. The pad ID, the pad name itself with the build dog, price, the stock, and the registration date. Now we will proceed to the trigger. So the trigger for my first trigger is update price checking on pet product. So the first so the trigger has been created as for it. Now we will aim for the pet product over 2. It's been stated that the equal sign is missing. So we will make some changes again. Sorry for the inconvenience. So the updated product for its product price has been updated to 55, where in the pet product has been we already edited for the PP0042. So we will select for the pet product. So it has been updated to the Fed product price to 55, as we already created. Mainly for the code itself, it's have been stated that we are also using the race application error. So the price itself must be not less or more than the current on pet product. So we'll go back to the pet product just now before we make some changes of it. So just now it was 14. The pet product price, it was 14 itself. Now we already changed to 55, and because we update the price more value more than the price itself, the current price, which is the 14 just now, to into 55 to ensure. So if we make it lower than 14, it will give us the error itself, which is the update price cannot be lesser than a current price on pet product. So the second one would be the delete pet product using pet product ID. To ensure that the trigger itself has been created, and also I also created a table, so to produce as such as like the how's that backup data, so it can be retrieved itself. But unfortunately, I didn't apply the retrieve, so I only delete and and save it, the delete to another table, so it will showcase the data has been deleted. So we will delete the 442, the PP 442 product, or PP 4002. The Fed product has been deleted from the database itself by using the ID. So we will showcase the table of Fed product history, which has been deleted inside and deleted from the table itself, from the original table from Fed product, and it will save the deleted data has been deleted. It will go to the Pet product history and Pet product history table. It has been showcased that during just now I deleted the pet product ID, which is the PP0042 for the pet name, product name, make it pet. And when it deleted, it will go to the another table, which is where the location to be deleted inside the table, which is the pet product pet prod history. And that's it for the trigger. Now we will go to the report. The first report will be the summary report for total sales for pet product. We will showcase that the total sum of pet product will be 2,927 and 30 cents itself. So the next will be the details report for pet product. Please. Execute the procedure. it will showcase the product list from pet product. So now we will using the demand. Lastly will be the demand and demand report. Sorry, press the wrong command. Sorry, just now, but I will end this presentation as in the report. I'm successfully able to create the demand report for the pet product cost. Unfortunately, some technical error and also the time constraint. I will proceed to Shark for the presentation. For his part to present the security procedure, shipping, and report. Thank you very much.
Okay, so it's my turn to present my part. Okay, for the first query will be to display the cheapest pet product. So I try to execute the query first. So you can see here, this is a marketing level to display the this is a marketing level to display the customer who has a low budget to buy the pet products. So you can see from here, this is the cheapest pet product will be displayed. So the next query, the second query will be to get a higher price for the each pet category. So from here you can see all the details. This query will display the next of the month of the pet products that we stated before. Because we here only write for the February 28th February, so it will display from the March, all the detail from the March. So the third query will be if we get the higher price for the each pet category. Okay, you can see from here, based on each category got their own higher price. Like example, for the pet category like PPC001, on this category, the higher price for the pet product is 199 ringgit and 90 cent for this category. For the other category, you can see from here like PPC 002. The higher price will be the 120 and 90 cents. So I will present for the procedure. First procedure will be the add staff data to the table. And the procedure is created. So I try to execute the procedure. For the stuff is added, so we try to display the table, see whether the data is already inserted or not. Select all stuff. You can see from here, just now I insert the S80012. So you can see from here the data already insert to the database. So the second procedure will be the add customer data. It's also same as the previous one. I try to execute the procedure first. Wait, hold on. Let me check for the table first. Oh, just now, because data already inside the table already. So just now I insert the data is invalid because got the existing ID at here already. So next for the trigger, the first trigger is to restricted insert. Okay, the trigger is created. So for this trigger is the purpose of this trigger is only for the administration to allow to be inserted and update or delete new data between 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. only for the working hour. If you want to delete, update or insert after 6 p.m. or before 6 a.m., so it will be display the error like this. So at the moment we on 10 and 40 a.m. so we can insert the data to the database. Hold on. So we try using the previous procedure to add the staff data. We do some amendment for the ID, like 3, and this one like some detail on it. It's a email, and the phone number is 015 for anything. Okay, we try to edit. Hold on, I try to check for the table first. Twelve. Okay. Yeah, I try to insert again. Not enough value. Hold on. You see the stuff data already we created. So we try to display the data. So you can see from here the one SA0013 already created lah. So if you want to create before 9 a.m. or after 6 p.m., it will like display the error like you only can add sub update or delete stuff between 6 a.m. and 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. like this lah. So for the next for the next trigger will be like update price checking on the pet table. The trigger being created. If I want to try to update like example for the pets like P001, we set the price to 30. We update the price to the 30. So the row will be created lah. So we try to display the pet table. So we check for the P001. The P001, the price already updated for 30 already. So we try to like update the price below the 30. So, okay. We put it into 20. So if we display the arrow like update, the price cannot be lesser than the current price like this. Okay, so for the report, first we will present the summary report for the total profit for the sales. So we try to execute the procedure. And procedure is created, so we try to execute it. So you can see from here the total sales is 7,495 ringgit and 85 cents. So this summary report is like to display the total amount of sales with the status pay only. So we try to check for the total sales there. So you can see from the table here, it will be calculated by the status of pay only. For the pending, they will ignore it like this. So for the next report will be the detailed report. So we will display the list of the customer table. And procedure is created, so we try to execute it. So here is the detail, all the customer will be listed. So the next is on demand report. So this report will be like display the customer will only have the 50 ringgit budget to buy the pets. Okay, the procedure is created. We try to execute it. So here you can see this all the pet is below the 50 ringgit. So you can see from the price like 29, 43, 45, 19, 38 ringgit, 14, 11, like this. So that's all on my part. So I will pass to Elvin to present his part. That's all. Thank you.没有，但是是 cam 来的，这里看，你只是跟 after 这里去，就是你的 code，
现在讲话从哪里？
你这么讲调，已经开麦了。
哦 OK。你从我的不是讲吗？
那你要 execute 的时候，你先 clear screen，你打 clear screen 的时候。你就 try 这些都是可以的，你的关。
Okay, so I present. First is the query for operation level. So in order to operation smooth daily, you will be check the stock of the one of our pet. Here I will take a bit example. So here will be the stock for every pet name of rabbit. After that is the technical level query, which is check the situation, sales situation of a month in order to execute the strategic level. So here we will take October sales situation example. And this is the sales situation of October was shown here. After that, it will be strategic level. So in order for new idea for develop the product, you will be check sales amount of the product category. As you can see here, we saw the how many orders for every the pet category product.
So after that is the procedure. Procedure, the first procedure will be check customer details by entering the customer code and oh. And here will be used so if we check customer details for code D0010. So, wait a while.你有那个他们出来了，要出到什么时候？这什么气哦？诶，出了哦，这么一关掉啊？哦。Yeah. Sorry for inconvenience for our presentation. So will be我应该是没有data，没有data，like no data，应该是你是这样。现在也看到这边上，这边就这样看。奇怪，我讲哦 ，customer details check 上面，我应该是没有data，我没有放这么多。对呀，讲customer的结果。奇怪，这是这么牛，这么那么牛。诶，是哦，西大字母。Okay. So it will be okay. Sorry, just now it was the input command problem. Just we already fixed. It's actually the C of the number letter of the ID itself, which is C, it should be the C uppercase, not the smaller case. Now we will continue. Now we will continue the every presentation. Okay. So the second procedure is check the purchase of a customer. And there is how many purchase a customer made. And then, so now I will be proceed to trigger. So this trigger will be M for remind the stock if the stock was less than 5. So such as if I update the stock
Okay, so here will be the trigger. Because the stock was less than 5, it will be defined here. Stock was less than 5. So second trigger is for keep track the product name update. So like I create a name, pet product, pet, and then the pet is Camber, but after that I update it to Camber, but so now I will see the update record. Is it? Okay. Here will be show the update record before it's Camber, but update the Camber, but on the date of April 22. And now will be the summary report. So this now will be summary. So it will be produced a summary report for the order of October, all the order status. And then after that is detailed report. So same with this, you'll be show the detailed report for October 2022. And here will be the detailed report for the all of the order in October. And then after that is the on-demand report. The on-demand report will be the on-demand report for checking the stock, and here will be the check repeat stock. And this here will be show the how many stock of the delivery had 64. And here will be end of the presentation.
And that's all for our presentation. Thank you very much for listening. That's all.
More topic. Pet inventory, is it? Yeah.
Inventory management system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Animal pet. We are many store pet product and many we are pet product. We are using the pet product and we help them create a system for them to manage their pet product data, which include of course the customer, the staff, pet, order and pet product in their store. We manage their data. Yeah.
So all of it is a live animal.
It's a live animal, not dead animal.
It's
we,
Frozen
we don't have those kind of
Like prepare to be cooked.
taxidermy. Pet for the pet, it's pet for pet product is like food, toys. We already listed in the database inside it, but it's inside the data itself. But we didn't list it we didn't state it in our report. But we already we have the data for it. We have data for it. So wait, I will display it for Sensei. 还要那个 data 才不知道。Okay. This is the pet product category for pet product category, and the pet itself is actually the types of pets.
Yeah, like dog, cats, insect.
Animal like fish, aquatic, cats, dog, insect, reptiles. Pet product, for example.
Yeah, the pet category.
It's auto. Okay. This is our data for category itself. So each data we put it have their own foreign key inside it, and their own type. So because of cats have multiple type of cats, but as stated, we also don't know the type itself. Like Persian cat is cats. Sometimes it's other animals. Yeah, general name.
In the query, 那为什么只是 rabbit 而已？
Like if they want to check other product, we can have like dog query or pet query like that. Here I will be take a bit example. Yes.
Eager query. Yeah. Yeah, 这是 Daniel 的。
那你要我的。Yes, it is check the stock, but like this query I do the rapid one. If they want to check other stock, they can have it. I can have other query to check other animal. Yes. But here only rabbit get the input for customer which page he want to check. Input top 10, I check the stock like that.
But can you check the stock of other animals?
This query only a bit.
This query is already on your
Okay, yes.
Yeah, why not now group that is 全部 display 这样子嘛？
You can check stock for all of this animals after the first, second.
He mainly focus for the rabbit. The rabbit.
It's still the same thing.
It's mainly for rabbit. Mainly focusing on rabbit.
Yeah.
Mainly rabbit. That's all. It's not the overall. It's not the overall.
Yeah. Where most of the stock, okay? All the software, including rabbit, right?
Including rabbit.
Same thing, lah.
But it's also focused in rabbit. Mainly mine is like for the overall, all the type, all the category.
Yeah.
But for Elvin, it's mainly focusing on rabbit only. It's
Stock of the rabbit only.
stock only for rabbit
Yours
only.
also including stock.
Mine is overall. Overall.
Yeah, but the stock is there, right?
Yeah. So it's there.
Something also, lah.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Technically, it's different.
Only the outlook is like different lah.
In the category, mine is overall. It's including the text block and everything. But for Elvin part is it focuses on rabbit.
啊什么？没有，他讲 rabbit 那个，因为你的 query 只 display rabbit 嘛。
Yes, but why do you think of that? Okay, I think that's all lah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Alright.
Thank you so much.
So tomorrow,
Yeah.
Sir, we haven't finished that. The lecture.
let me know by this week. Yeah, I think that's all for today. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I think